Okay, this video is talking and reminding us about the rules and properties of parallelograms. So, for some of you, this is review, and some of you, this is new. But a parallelogram is a quadrilateral, and we know a quadrilateral is a polygon with four sides, and it's a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. And if we're going to go mark that on the picture, the way that we mark something is parallel is with arrows. So we could say the left side is parallel to the right, and the top is parallel to the bottom. I put a single arrow on some and a double arrows on others so that I've got parallel sides, but not all four are parallel. But then a parallelogram has four properties, and it's really important we know these properties because we're going to use them in other shapes that we have. And the first one is both pairs of opposite sides are congruent, meaning, and when we mark congruent, put dashes, the left is congruent to the right and the top is congruent to the bottom. So in this example here, if it wanted us to find x, we could say that 3x minus 9 equals x plus 11. So we'll subtract. So we get 2x minus 9 equals 11. Add 9. So 2x equals 20. So we solve and we get x equals 10. Okay, so that's the sides. The opposite sides are congruent. These two I'm going to kind of put together. The second and third one. The second one is that both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. So if I were to mark that in the picture, the bottom left matches the top right. Remember, we put arc marks to mark things congruent. And the top left matches the bottom right. And the other thing that we know is that the consecutive angles, and those are the ones that share a side, are supplementary. So that means that they add to 180. So these two add to 180, and these two add to 180. Same with the top two over here. Same with these two over here. So when they're across from each other, they're equal, but when they share a side, they add to 180. So if we were looking at this example, y would have to be 40 degrees because the angles that are across from each other are equal. And then the ones that share a side add to 180. So if I did 180 minus 40, that gives me 140. So this is 140, and this one is 140. And that's what I know in a parallelogram as far as the angles are concerned. All right, and then the last one is the diagonals bisect each other. That means they cut each other in half. Okay? So if I were to draw on the diagonals, and the diagonals connect two non-consecutive points, okay, that means the top left is the same as the bottom right, and the bottom left is the same as the top right. So if we were to look at this example and it says that AB is 4, it wants us to find BC. Well, BC would also have to be 4, and then AC, the whole thing, is 8. Now, that means that this diagonal is 8. It does not necessarily mean that that diagonal is 8 as well. We just know that the yellow one gets cut in half and the blue one gets cut in half, but the yellow does not necessarily equal the blue in a parallelogram. So those are the properties about parallelograms. So now I want you to do the quick little Google form and answer some questions about parallelograms.